again, welcome. It's a lot warmer in here than it was out there on that road, and pardon everybody's hat hair and hood hair and everything, but it's one of those days. We'll cut a ribbon on Highway 20 if it's 100 degrees or if it's 20 or below. We don't care. We'll cut that ribbon no matter what happens. Anyway, we're glad to have all of you here today. We have a number of people that'd like to say a few words about the road, and certainly you don't want to listen to me all the time. So the first person to talk to us will be Pam Anderson with Calhoun County Economic Development. Pam?
Thank you, Shirley, and welcome to Rockwell City and Calhoun County. This has been, seems like a long time coming. In the 3 years I've been here, it's been exciting to watch the progress, and we've finally made it. So welcome, and also I want to mention that this is our new library and community center in Rockwell City. Great facility, and we're just really glad it's here, and we use it a lot. So welcome.
Thank you. Come on in the room if you can get in there. Next, we have a supervisors from the other end of this stretch, and that would be Bob Singer, the first vice president of our association. Bob? He's wounded.
Thank you, Shirley. I mentioned to Shirley, if you had to sum up quickly the reason for success here, it has to be a joint effort, and joint means two, and it's really more, a lot more than that. It starts with federal. They've sent some money. The state clearly has supported us in both houses, if you will. The DOT has been magnificent in supporting us in the last, 10 years especially, and their pledge, I believe, to get this thing done. So if you are any part of it all, slap yourself on the back. Please don't do that to me today. Again, to everyone that had any part in this, thank you. It's a delight to have this, and Fort Dodge says hooray, and we look forward to going further in the West.
Before we go any further, we do have some old timers here, and I shouldn't say old timers because Gary just pointed out that I was one. But I noticed Ed Augustine, where'd you go, Ed? Hiding someplace. Right there. Right over here. He was there when I started. And Gary asked me how long I'd been working on this, and we were trying to figure out between our ages whether we both started at the same time. And then, is that your daughter next? Who's next to you? She said that was 2 years after she was, or before she was born or something. I was like, we have been working on this for a long time, but we thank everybody for coming today. We do have a DOT representative with us today, Darwin Bishop, and he has a few words about the project.
I'd just like to say thanks for having us here, and our district engineer, Tony Lazarovich, wishes to express how sorry he was he couldn't make it, but he had previous commitments that kept him from being here. It's exciting to take another step towards US 20 being 4-lane across the state of Iowa. It's exciting to see this many people out here and it shows how much that important it is. A lot of people helped us get to this point. I'd like to thank Calhoun County and the city of Rockwell City for their help with getting agreements ready for construction, for transferring what today becomes old US 20 to their jurisdiction. Without their help, this wouldn't have been a possibility. I'd like to thank the contractors who performed work on this section of highway, over 18 miles, $55 million worth of work. There's a lot of work out there, and they did it in a lot of bad weather, including the last few weeks, to get this thing ready so we could open it today. I'd like to thank the construction officers, both Cherokee Construction, Mike Kruger's office, and John Hart out of Jefferson Construction. Their officers worked very hard to make sure these roads were built according to specification, that the materials incorporated were top quality, and they did their best to get it done as fast as possible. And the last, I'd like to say we look forward to reaching our next 2 milestones, which is getting Highway 24 lane to N14 by the end of 2012, and to US 71 by the end of 2013, and then turning around and working from early to Mobile and get it all done. Thank you.
Goes out to DOT too, because they've been extremely cooperative, even when we say, hurry up, we need to get that ribbon cut, and we need to be driving on that road. We did have a DOT commissioner send his regrets today. He said, please accept my regrets for not being able to attend the ribbon cutting. Also, please extend my apologies to the association, but assure them that I remain committed to the entire project. It is nice to see pieces completed, and it won't be long before it will all become a reality. Best regards, Barry Cleveland, DOT Commissioner, sorry. So now we have a group of people here that we'd like to have say a few words. And the first, I did have a message from Senator Jack Kibbe that said, one more step in the progress of Highway 20. Thank you for all you do. The next person I think that would like to say a few words is Senator Darrell Beal.
Thank you, Shirley. I'm very proud to be known as not only the senator from District 25, but oftentimes called the senator from Highway 20. And I'm very proud of that. This represents a lot of bipartisanship. I look to my friend and colleague Dave Jeffries, who's the new Transportation Chair in the House. I will be Vice Chair of the Transportation Appropriations Committee and also serve on the Transportation Policy Committee. This has been one of the most frustrating things about the legislative process is that it's rather piecemeal and incremental. That's the bad part. The good part is that we get to have more parties like this. The last time we did this was over by Moreland, and some of you who were there may remember that I threw out M&M candies, and the idea being Moreland to Mobile. And that weather was a little different. They melted in my hand, even though I'm saying they won't. But I'm delighted to be a part of this. I want to extend a welcome to at least 2 more of these in the next year and in 2 years. And I appreciate the work. It's always gratifying when you folks come down to the Capitol. People know you're there, and your presence has made literally all the difference in the world to getting this completed. The Access Iowa Highway, we've done different things to make it happen, but were it not for all of your support from the business community, local governments, and also I really want to say something in another bipartisan way, and that is I'm very grateful to Governor-elect Branstad for reappointing or asking Nancy Richardson to stay on at least for a while to complete her tour of duty as a director of DOT. She has been a stalwart, a supporter of this, and I'm delighted that the governor-elect has asked her to remain on. So thank you so much for all you do.
Now if we can call on our Chairman of Transportation from the House, David Jepkes.
Thank you, Shirley, and thank you for this great party. It is indeed a great celebration. You know, a lot of times when we talk about Highway 20, we talk about, gee, how nice it'll be to drive from Fort Dodge to Sioux City on a 4-lane road and all this kind of stuff. We sometimes forget that the whole purpose of a lot of these highways is for the flow of commerce. And if you look at the importance of Highway 20, especially in northwest Iowa, you know, if you go from Fort Dodge to Sioux City and you draw a line along Highway 20 and 30 miles on both sides, you have ethanol plants that produce cumulatively over 1 billion gallons of ethanol each and every year. And that's just an example of commerce and how critical this highway is, because farmers have to haul the corn, the raw corn to the plant produces the product. They then have to ship out the ethanol. Then also you have the leftover corn or the dried distiller grain that livestock feeders use for their livestock. So you can see that's just an example of how important commerce and economic development is associated with Highway 20. So again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and we look to extend this all the way to Sioux City real soon and get Northwest Iowa back on the map. Thank you.